Blessed afternoon, collective. I just recorded a whole intro and I didn't record it. That's what happens. That's what happens. The camera got bumped. I moved it and inadvertently stopped recording and kept talking to myself, because this is all just talking to myself anyway. But that one was just for me, says the universe. That was all for you to process. I'm going to repeat some of it because it was good and I enjoyed it. And it felt good. And a lot of it has to do with the acceptance of ego, the acceptance of reaction within the self. I meant it when I said the solstice is kicking my ass. That energy is still here. It's not going anywhere. It's here. It's here to take names. It is here to kick some ass and chew bubblegum, and it's all out of bubblegum. I mean, that's just what it is. This week I have had demonstrated to myself my own rejection of ego, my own rejection of self, witnessing that which I had rejected in others, had not allowed in others. And the new understanding, the realization that my rejection of that was really, truly based on my rejection of my own experience, that which I was witnessing in another, but had experienced in myself and not allowed to be a part of myself, allowed to be a part of my experience. Anger is something that I have repressed for a long time, with this awareness that it is ego that feels the anger, it is ego that receives the hurt. And so there was this instant inclination to say, I am above that, I am beyond that. Oh, I am not responsive to ego. Well, rejection of ego is response to ego. To say that I am not reactive, that I do not experience reaction, is the reaction to ego. It is, in effect, still ego. It's still ego, and it's creating the reactivity of resistance to itself. And in so doing, I resisted that behavior in others. I resisted that expression in others because I was disallowing it in my own self. And this week has shown me powerfully how that has always been the result of my own refusal to accept what is within me. And understanding there is a difference between what is within me, what is experienced, and what I am. The things that I experience, that I feel, that I think, that I perceive even, are allowed. They are in me, but they are not me. They are not things which I need identify with. In fact, I am that which contains. I am the container of. I am the broader level. I am the allower. I am that which can choose to be non-reactive to reaction, but in so doing allows reaction to exist. The resistance to reaction, the denial of reaction, denial of the existence of it, is just resistance, is just ego, and is, again, not myself. If I wish to be truly myself, then I must reach into that place which is allowing, which sees the layers of reaction and chooses to acknowledge them, to stop judging them, to not judge them, to let them be as they are, to let them exist, to see that I had resisted the resistance with resistance. And finally, I choose to just observe that, to go, look at all of that. That's all within me. And it's allowed to be. And it's no threat to me because I'm not identified with it. It's not personal. And now from this new place, I have compassion. I have compassion, true compassion, which is neutrality, which is non-judgment. Love doesn't care. Love is careless. Love just loves. And so I don't care. I can witness within me. I can allow this anger. I can allow this anxiety. I can see that it is not wrong. It simply is. And all is as all should be. But all that is is not me. It's within me, but it isn't me. Myself cannot be contained by that. Myself is the container of that. The self that I am, the I that I am, is big, is broad, is all expansive, is so big that it allows that which I am not to be in me. And does so freely, without judgment. And in discovering of this place, compassion arises and is felt for those who are sharing in this experience. There is the regaining of that perception, that awareness of the common denominator of the life that we shared, of our shared divinity, of our oneness as life, not as ego. The ego that I perceived in another and in myself and then mistakenly identified with is revealed to be not identity, not myself, not this other self. And so all is forgiven from this higher place. Forgiven as in the true sense of just seeing through, seeing past, seeing that there is no wrong. That is true forgiveness. Reaching that understanding, that level, that is the turning of the cheek, the other cheek, to perceive differently, to see it differently, to see that there has been no slight. It's all just been ego, and that's okay. It is allowed. The energy is powerful. It's swirling. There's anxiety felt in it. There is angst. There's apprehension. There's confusion, overwhelmment, all of these things, and all of these things are allowed. None of them are wrong. None of them are you. None of them are me. But they are within us because they are allowed to be, because they are right to be as they are and to express freely. And we are that big, stable place that observes, that witnesses, that allows without judgment, with love, which is neutrality, actually, which doesn't care one way or the other. It simply lets. It simply accepts. There's an aspect happening today. Mercury in Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces, and it feels like this deep upheaval. It's a continuation. The theme in the energy continues. It's not going to stop. It is here to shift emotion up and out. And just that. It's just here to get it out, to get it moving. It wants to come out. It wants to be acknowledged. There had been anger and pain and hurt in me that I never acknowledged. That just needed to be acknowledged as existing. It needed to be allowed from my higher perspective. I needed to allow it to be within me, to accept, to acknowledge its existence. In so doing, it finds this release and it transmutes, it transforms. The sun is now in the sign of Cancer, or rather, Cancer is in the sign that, the sun doesn't move. And I've always found the sign of Cancer to be very interesting because it is, to me, this sort of juxtaposition. That is a lot of the signs, really. It's all of them. They all have these sort of seemingly opposing elements that we get to merge and marry through our allowance. But it is cardinal water. It's the sign of deep emotion. And yet, at the same time, it's hard. It's shelled. It's sort of tensed up against it at the same time that it's feeling it. It is the crab that doesn't want exposure. It has the soft underbelly, and yet it is afraid to expose it. It's sort of protective, combative almost at times. And there's this feeling of the energy just flipping the crab over. When I first saw it and was talking about this, it felt like a table being flipped. Now it feels like the crab being flipped. It's time to be exposed. It is time for the soft, vulnerable underbelly to be tickled. It's time to just let it happen. Especially with this square in Neptune. It's an uprising from the deepest of places. Deep emotion, emotion that we'd forgotten about. Emotion that we thought we were past because we had repressed it so deeply. Tomorrow there's another square, which is a tense aspect. It's pushing. Tension is created to push us to release. That is how it serves us. It is that which creates the friction that gives us not just traction, but the inspiration for it, the motivation for it, the desire for it. Tomorrow we have Mars in Leo, fiery, passionate, squaring Uranus in Taurus. That is that table flipping energy. And on the same day, Mercury moves into Cancer with the Sun. The emotion wants to come out. It's getting clearer and clearer. It's being felt more and more clearly. On the 28th, the Sun in Cancer has a trine with Saturn in Pisces. On the next day, Mercury, now in Cancer, has a trine with Saturn in Pisces. Both the Sun and Mercury, these energies of illumination, of understanding, of exposure, of vulnerability, in essence, of being revealed, being exposed, evidence shown to us in a way that is so clear, it is comprehended and undeniable. Combining that with this encouragement, again, to express this understanding that the expression is important, that it is the withholding of the emotion that is hurting us, that it just needs to come out. Maybe we don't understand fully why, but we know it's the only way. We know it's the only way to feel better. Something needs to be expressed, to be unloaded. And that energy just continues through the end of the month. I want to pull on the energy right now. I am feeling the anxiety. I am feeling the tension, the feeling of being lost at sea, of adrift in a vast ocean, of not knowing, of having no control and no way of knowing whatsoever of what will happen next. But what will be, will be. Whatever happens, happens, and is for the highest good. There is this pushing, this drive to surrender to the moment completely. The experience, whatever it is that is within that moment. Again, that isn't you, it is within you. You are the present moment, and everything that exists within it exists within you, but what you really are, truly, essentially, fundamentally, your authentic being is the being that is containing, that which is allowing, the broader, the encompassing aspect. It's a lot. So let's pull on it. I am going to pull on the soulmate cycle. Because I feel like it. That's it. I don't have another reason. I just want to know what's going on. What does the universe want to say about this energy right now as it is being experienced by general collective, which the soulmate cycle is my subset, my sample for. So it's just narrowed down a little bit. It's like taking a sample of pond water somewhere in the stream. King of Swords at the bottom, the King of Truth, the King of Action, King of Healing, which truth always is. It's underneath that. Yeah, Six of Cups. There's a lot here. Some of it is past life energy. And those old emotions, things from the past, whether it was this life or previous lifetimes, because that's here too. Some of the emotions coming up are not emotions we repressed in this lifetime. They're emotions we repressed in other lifetimes. And they're here to express. If just out of the blue you feel intensely some way and you have no thought you can connect, no situation to the triggering of it, it's in the collective and or it is from a past life experience. Either way, it doesn't matter. That emotion is just there to express. It's a lot coming up, coming back around, back for review. The review is just us looking at it, is acknowledging it, witnessing it, no longer repressing it. The action that is taken is surrender to it, is allowance, is choosing to deliberately allow this to flow through us. Yeah, the moon. It's all coming up. It's all coming back to me now. It's just everything that's been hidden. Some of it is epiphanies, some of it is things making sense, some of it is seeing how we've been ruled by fear, how we've been letting fear keep us from taking action, from speaking truth, from expressing freely, and perhaps how that has affected us in the past and we no longer want that to be a part of our experience. A lot of it is just, though, it's all coming up, it's all being revealed to us. Some of it is with clarity, some of it is just clearly felt. And it's not meant to be understood. It's just there to be expressed. Ace of Swords, yeah. I mean, we have two Ace of Swords here. The King of Swords holds the Ace of Swords, is Archangel Michael's sword of truth, which is not only healing and revealing, it sets us free. It is that sword which is used to cut karmic ties. Karma, in essence, is imbalanced energy. By allowing the expression of emotion and truth, we are allowing that energy to balance, therefore cutting ourselves loose from karma. Some of this emotion, again, has carried over from past lives. By allowing ourselves to feel it, to face it, to just acknowledge that it's there, to just look at it and accept it, we are healing past life karma. Five of Pentacles. What's under that? Page of Wands. This is separate. I don't know why, but it's separate. I'm actually confused by that. There's a feeling, there's just this feeling of why? Why didn't I? It's something old. So old, so deeply not acknowledged. We're coming in to a new period of warmth. There is ancient emotional baggage, karma being cleared, something that's kept us out for a long time. But it's ready to come in. There's something that's ready. There's something else that is ready to come in because of this. It's separate, but it's on the heels of. It's a Five of Pentacles crossed by the Page of Wands underneath that. Yeah. Six of Wands crossed by Eight Pentacles. Something that's been in the works for a long time. Underneath that, the Ace of Cups. That has been unable to come in. Unable to happen for us. Something from numerous lifetimes. That now is being allowed in, is being called in because of this, because we are now in this lifetime, in this incarnation, in this moment, in this energy, being given the opportunity to feel everything that we've repressed. It's coming back for review. It's coming back for review so that we can finally move on from this. This ancient, this is not just from this lifetime. If you are here receiving this message, you're an old soul. You've had many incarnations. There is just it's a deep shifting of energy, of imbalanced energy, of karma. We're here to feel all of the feelings from all of the past lifetimes that we've ever repressed. That's part of why it's so overwhelming, because it's so much, it's lifetimes worth of stuff, but we're prepared for it. We came forth in this incarnation knowing, choosing that we were going to do this. We were going to feel it all in this lifetime and let that shit go, so that it was released once and for all, so that we moved on to this next level. Again, shifting up in the water lock, we had to allow in all of that emotion, allow it to flow through us, allow all of that water to come in order to fill the lock to the right level, to release, to get to the next one. That's intense. What's on top? King of Wands. That's why this soulmate cycle has happened. That's why it's been so intense, so excruciating. That's why it's been so long and drawn out, and there's been so much emotion, because again, it was never really about the soulmates. It was always about putting us in these situations where we were now able to grow our energy enough. We became open enough to allow the flow of the past life karma to come through, emotion to come through. The situations, the experiences that we have been put in and had as a result of participating in this soulmate cycle have fast-tracked evolution, fast-tracked ascension, awakening, fast-tracked the release of karma. Again, we said, in this lifetime, we're wiping it all out, so bring it all on. Put me in the situation where I get all of it, where I have all of the experiences that make me feel all of the emotions, trigger all of the emotions, and I'm in the place to consciously, actively face them, feel them, and so heal them, finally release them. This is very interesting. I am having, wow, I can't even shuffle. The cards are just falling out. The cards are just falling out. I didn't get anywhere. King of Wands, the Hermit. Okay, and it came out sort of reversed. What are these? Everything fell out upside down. Yeah, Jesus Christ, yeah. Hang on. I mean, old soul energy, old soul that decided this was the lifetime to balance everything. This was the one we were going to get it moving again. This was the lifetime to correct all of the imbalance. Again, imbalanced energy is sort of what we refer to as karma in many senses. In this lifetime, we said before incarnating, I want to do all of it. I want the soul to lead. I want to work with the universe. I want to resolve this now. I want to let this go now. Bring all of it on. I want justice, and I surrender to what that means. Justice, again, just the balancing of energy, freeing the universe up to do that in a big way, to deliver all of the lessons so that all of the pieces can fall into place for all of the balancing. God, it's a lot. There's a lot of energy here. Okay. These 3 cards are just sort of separate. They're going to sit on the outside. But I don't get to shuffle anymore. That was it. That's how it works. The King of Wands just came to the bottom, which is that base energy, and there's the 6 of Pentacles underneath. It's time to balance this. It's time for the ego to give way to the soul. It is time for, this is masculine and feminine energy, soul energy. Drawn to the blue as well. There's emotion that's been withheld, that it is by the releasing of that withheld emotion that we reach the resolve. It's under that 6 of Pentacles. Yeah. And that is what turns everything around. How do I express this? There's so much. Holy shit. 5 of Cups. It's a revealing of the plan. It is again a little bit of what I was speaking on earlier, of in witnessing the ego in ourselves and others, and seeing how it is fed in ourselves and others. We reach this new place of understanding where the compassion arises, where we're no longer disappointed in ego, because we see how that's just feeding it. That's just more ego energy. It is just fear-based. It's this new comprehension of how there has been no disappointment. Everything has happened exactly the way we intended for it to. All of it for our growth, all of it for our expansion, all of it for the resolution of karma in this lifetime, and especially how this soulmate cycle has served us. How if we had not encountered the runners, if the runners had not run, had we not been triggered into this growth and expansion, we wouldn't be here now in this place where we are discovering peace, we are reclaiming our power, reconnecting with ourself, our source, our divinity, discovering the pleasure, the power, the peace of surrender, of trusting, witnessing the divine plan in action, that which we have orchestrated for ourselves, with ourselves, as the universe at the highest level. And we wouldn't be resolving all of this karma. And so there is nothing to be disappointed in, only to feel grateful for. There's gratitude in this as well. I don't even get to cut the deck today. It just wants to go. We're just going. We're just going with what's on top, which means we're getting most of the pre-shuffle back, but that's what the message is. King of Swords, unavoidable truth, and almost a compulsion to express it. 6 of Wands, and this is completely unpredictable. I need the next card. Page of Wands. Open. Being set on a new level, set on a new adventure. The soul is taking us on a new adventure. One that feels good, one that has everything that we want. Because, again, of the willingness to feel. This is more about the feminine than the masculine. And of course it is all the energy that is within us, and I tend to focus specifically on the internal expressions of it. So take it whatever way it resonates. But the soul is opening up to receive. Again, through the heart, through feeling. and the willingness to feel it, to just look at it, to accept it, to honor its truth, to honor its presence, to work with ourself by allowing the free expression of that self, not judging it, not questioning it, letting it surface, letting it be what it is, a leaning into the energy, allowing ourself to be as we are in that moment, which again is the whole moment. So when you are embracing and allowing the present moment, you are embracing and allowing yourself as you are. Hidden energy of the universe. There's that Five of Pentacles. Something coming in because of our coming in. Again, and that is how it works. Because of our opening up to the universe in a deeper way, a new way, the universe is opening up to us in a new way. When you are closed to life, life is closed to you. It can't get in. When you are open to life, life is open to you. It is receptive to you. There is a new receptivity. There is a warming, a calling in happening as a result of this deeper level of vulnerability, of opening, a broader opening of the heart space. Again, this just willingness to lose the self, to lose the small self in the feeling. There's a difference between being lost in your feeling and your thought because you are so identified with it, and being lost from the identification with it in your complete allowance of and surrendering to it, sort of letting it overtake you, choosing to allow that, to allow the moment, again, choosing to deliberately allow the moment to be as it is, and fully embracing it, feeling every part of it, which is every part of yourself. It is this new, wide open flow from the soul, which we are allowing, that is allowing the universe to work on our behalf in a new way, in a more powerful way than any of us had ever realized was possible. To literally move mountains for us because of our willingness to let be, to accept, to allow. And again, that is how we manifest properly. That is how we call in the entirety of infinite creative intelligence, which always is supporting us, always is on our side, but we have to give it permission. Because we are the divine deliberate creators, and what we say goes. Our permission is given through the surrender, through the vulnerability, through the opening, through no longer trying to dictate and decide with the mind by projection, but allowing and saying, I allow that which is for my highest good, and I accept that whatever is in this moment is for my highest good, and so let me embrace it, let me allow it fully, without questioning it, without dictating it, without adding specifications to it. Let me feel the full emotional content of it. That is what the universe really is fueled by, is directed by, the emotion. By going deep, by losing the self in the emotion, again, losing the small self in the allowance of the emotion, rather than trying to inflate the small self by the identification with. It's a subtle but important difference. In the identification with the emotion, we tend to resist it. We're trying to control it. When we stop identifying with it, we allow it to be as it is. We allow it to sweep over us, to then lose our identification of that small self. And then we are open. Then we are the space, we are the void for the universe to fill. And what are we open to? What is the frequency we are resonating as we are opening, as we are holding that space? Absolute surrender, unconditional love, freedom, peace, allowance, authentic being, all of these things. And so that is what is drawn in. That is what the universe fills that space with, that same energy. That which is open to you and feels open for you. That which is similarly surrendered, similarly open-hearted, similarly expanded, free, operating from the soul level, operating in alignment, in full alignment with the entirety of the powers that be of the whole universe, in full alignment with the soul. When you are speaking, when you are attracting with your soul through allowance, you are attracting soul. You are attracting that energy, that which is actually a frequency match to you at the deepest level. This is profound. Final card. General sort of outcome here. Sword of truth. Healing. Truth. Again, even though the cards rearrange themselves, this is red with the King of Swords, as well as the Six of Wands. This is the victory that is received. Healing, truth, epiphany, freedom, being cut loose. Cutting loose from all of the ties that bind. Being totally free. And in freeing yourself up, you free the universe the same way to support you completely. Not just a little bit, not just in bits and pieces, completely. You are held, you are living in providence, divine providence, when you surrender at this level, at the soul level, to the natural order, to divine justice, and you are asking it to sweep through you. Then again, all of the infinite resources of non-physical are not just available to you, they are operating for you. They are put into action for you by your allowance. I can't. This is massive. And I'm going to clarify with the witches, which has the Two of Cups at the bottom. It's reunion, it's soulmate. I'm not even interested in the soulmate stuff. This is like being the soulmate of the universe, which in effect we are. The universe, your broader self, is your true soulmate, is your true counterpart, is really the massive feminine energy to this sort of masculine energy that we are seeking union with. We are seeking union with the universe, with our broader self, our higher self, which is the soul, the oversoul, which again is feminine energy. Everything is in layers. But we are sort of this, the masculine aspect, being the projected soul, sort of personified masculine version of the feminine that is now being called into union with its own self, with its own feminine, the highest soul. Yeah, that reflects at every level. Yeah, it does. 5 of Swords. What's underneath that? Page of Wands. There you go. Again, it's clearing this up. There's been a confusion. It's being cleared. We're seeing now how surrendering to the self has always been the course of action. How there really is no other course of action. This is where the victory is. The true victory. Fighting against this has always been a losing battle. But now we know how not to lose that battle. We just stop fighting. We just stop fighting. That's how we win. What's under that page? 3 of Swords. Yeah. It's... And the 7 of Pentacles underneath that. Bookending that 2 of Cups. New perspective, everything aligning to reach this understanding. This new understanding that the pain has come from the rejection of this. The rejection of another is always the rejection of self. The peace is found in the acceptance of self. It's all pointing us back to the self. It's never about the other as we perceive it to be. It's about the self. It is about returning to deliberate allowance of acceptance of all that we are. That's how the pain is resolved. That's how we balance our own energy. That's how we bring ourselves to union within our own energy. By our willingness to work with it, to be open to it, to be guided by it, to be led, to let the soul lead. And again, let the soul at the highest level lead, to let the universe lead us, let it support us, let it take care of us, to provide for us. How do we do that? Again, by surrender to the moment, to the feeling. Yeah, there it is. By feeling. Knight of Cups. When we are unconditional, when we are choosing deliberately to allow all that is within the present moment, within and without, especially the emotion that is arising within us, to allow that feeling, we are embodying love. We are actually flowing love by allowing this other emotion, this emotional content to exist. What we really are doing is being our authentic self, which is love, which is free, which is unconditional acceptance. Again, it is just doing that, which not only feels good, but puts us back into this place of alignment with the broader self, the broader universe, of saying, I am surrendered up. I am surrendered up and trusting. I am open to receive. That lets the universe bring everything in. There's something else additional about new soulmates, old soulmates, soulmates from past lives that we never had access to. That again, because of our willingness, because of our decision in this incarnation to clear all of that emotional imbalance energy, all of that karma, now this new reserved path that has been there for a long time is able to flow in. Tell me about the King of Swords. Why is the King of Swords here? Why is the King of Swords here? Here. Page of Cups. Yeah, the willingness to let the emotion overtake us. This is overwhelming emotion, right? It's a tidal wave and it sweeps through us. That's how the healing happens, by deliberate allowance of the intensity of this feeling. I want to know what's underneath that. 7 of Wands. Yeah, this is what puts us in the new position of power, of actual power. The true power comes from the vulnerability. Comes again from the surrender. Your power is in surrender. Not just power, but in the surrender, again, it aligns us with all the power. It plugs us into the source, the infinite intelligence, infinite resources and abundance, literally unlimited energy. That's power, and that's where we're meant to be. What's on top? That's how we... That's how we plant the seeds that we mean to plant. It's all working together to bring us to this new understanding, this emotional understanding of how it works, how this whole thing works, how we create reality. It's never been a thinking journey, it's always been a feeling journey. We plant the seeds through feeling. We do that by our willingness to feel, to let the feeling sweep through us, not dictating it, not judging it, not repressing it, not even asking it to explain or justify itself, simply letting it happen, trusting whatever happens, happens for the highest good. That includes the feeling of emotion. And when we let that be, when we stop fighting the feeling, not only does it free itself, it frees us. We free ourselves, and we free the universe to sweep in and lift us up, to deliver to us. Why is Seven of Pentacles here? Yeah. It's time to heal all of this past hurt. Again, by looking at it, by feeling it, not by denying it, not by pretending it isn't there, by looking at it, by allowing it to sweep through us. That's how this all gets shifted. That's how it gets corrected. The imbalance gets corrected. That's how we learn this is how it's done. This is how we work with the universe. This is how we open ourselves to receive. By the opening to feeling, especially feeling pain, especially pain. When we are willing to witness pain and honor it as such, we not only expand our understanding of, appreciation of, and capacity for pleasure, we open ourselves up to receive that pleasure. Our willingness to receive, to feel the pain, to feel the contrast, equals our willingness to receive and feel the pleasure. And it opens again the space in the universe to, the space in ourselves, rather, for the universe to deliver that pleasure to us. It's directly through the facing of the contrast. This is important, and I want to express it as authentically and vibrationally accurately as I can. It is in many ways a sort of recurring message. As I'm saying that, I love the universe. It's a recurring message from, I think, the last reading I pulled, in which judgment was a very important card. What just fell out of the deck but judgment. Karma. Actually, in this deck, it's karma. This is how we clear the karma. Karma is just imbalanced energy. The energy is imbalanced because it's been emotion, it's been painful, specifically emotion, that we haven't allowed to flow. We haven't faced, we haven't let it be pain, we haven't let it be contrast. By letting it be pain and sitting with it, honoring it, not telling it it's not supposed to be there, not telling it to go away, not trying to change it, but sitting in it, looking at it, we release the karma, we balance the energy. Justice, again. And again, all of it is because we asked. Because we asked. Ask and it is given. Why is karma here? Seven of Wands comes back. Same repeating energy of this is how we get to the next level. This is how we are in control of our experience, not by controlling the experience happening around us, but by continuously surrendering to it, in our deliberate, conscious, aware decision in each moment to surrender to the moment. Then we're always on top, because the universe is able to lift us there, not by our climbing, not by our struggling, by the surrendering to, and then the water, the emotion, literally the water that we are allowing to flood, lifts us up. We are buoyant. And it's putting us on this new path, the truly intended path, the one that we couldn't reach without finally facing the pain, facing the contrast, past lifetimes worth of it. We're clearing all of it. We're feeling the pain in this lifetime. We're feeling every ounce of it. We're showing ourselves how big, how open we are. And in so doing, we are open to the universe in the same way to make big changes, to shift the earth beneath our feet, not just in a small way. I mean it when I say moving mountains. I want to say actual magic, actual miracles, things that we consider miracles. They're only considered miracles because we don't let them happen more often. We call them rare, special. Those types of things that we consider miracles are child's play for the universe when we're open to it. And asking why the Page of Wands is here. The Queen of Pentacles falls out, first of all. Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. What's fueling that? Knight of Swords. Holy Moses, that's fast. That's rocket fuel. That is nitrous in a NASCAR race car. We're being skyrocketed to this new level of stability. It's the universe, the greater soul, our own soul saying, let me show you how good I got you. Let me show you how much I got you. How quickly and easily everything can shift for you. Just how much the universe is really supporting you, is on your side. How much it can do for you when you let it flow freely. Again, just by leaning into the emotion, by deliberately, continuously surrendering to the moment and everything that is contained within it, especially the contrast, especially the painful feelings. When you do that, you are fast-tracked. We are being fast-tracked to this new freaking level of alignment with, cooperation with the universe, of knowing our working with the universe, feeling that stability, feeling that supportedness, knowing, aware that we are divinely guided and we're figuring out how to follow the flow, how to walk that path. It's just through surrender. It's just through letting everything be exactly as it is in each moment. The more we do it, the better we get at it. And it's just this continuous practice. Why is the Queen of Pentacles here? The Tower. Yeah. Dramatic shifts. I cannot emphasize how rapid and just mountain moving these shifts are. And again, it's pointing me back to the willingness to be continuously recreated as well, to not be identified with anything, to allow the content of every moment, emotional and otherwise, but not be identified with it, to let it repeatedly shift and move and just be what it is. Then we're not trying to build, we're not struggling, we're not fighting for, we're allowing the universe to support us, to build us up, to literally fill the path in beneath our feet in a way that is tangible, that is visceral, that is experienceable. not even just at the soul internal level, but the physical 3D reality level. By choosing to let the towers fall and not looking away from them. By being open to that, we are open to all of the universe to flow in for us. I know I'm repeating myself, but this is a repeating message. And I just want to give it in as much detail as I can. It is just the universe saying, you've got it. You've got it. This is all it takes. This is all it takes, is to surrender to the moment, to feel, to surrender to the feelings. Again, to know that you're not identified with them. They don't contain you. You contain them. Allow them to be exactly as they are. Experience them fully. Give yourself over to that experience, and you are giving yourself over to the universe. By your feeling of the contrast, you are open to receive in the way that you intend. And that means open to receive the pleasure, open to receive the desired, open to guidance, true, complete guidance, not half guidance. The universe working with us in a new way. Tell me about this Five of Pentacles here. What is this about? What is the Five of Pentacles here? Two of Wands. Yeah. It's something coming in. Something that's been held back. Why? Six of Cups. Because of that past energy that we hadn't looked at. But now we're looking at it. Now, in this lifetime, we are looking at and feeling the emotion from all of these past lifetimes. That's what's been holding us back. That is it's this final piece of karma that's being resolved again. That is also demonstrating to us how this all works. And it just snowballs. It catapults us to this new level, this new stability. Why is the Six of Cups here? Hierophant, come on. Yeah, deep spiritual lessons in this, profound revelations that our soul has been waiting for this lifetime to happen, to reach this understanding, to finally come to this place where we get it. We understand consciously, aware, what the purpose of contrast is, painful emotion, how it serves us, how to surrender to it, how that it lines us up with the rest of the universe, how that's the only thing we ever need to do to be completely led, completely supported by divine, is just be open to feeling. This has been a long time coming. This is old pain. This is long-standing pain that has plagued us for generations, and we are releasing it by our willingness to face it. Again, our willingness to face it teaches us why, teaches us how to go about this. And so the cycle never repeats. It's closed. We close these karmic cycles now and forever. No more. Now we're moving into positive karma. Now we are moving on to a new cycle where we are accruing positive karma the same way that we relieve the negative karma. Our willingness to face and feel the contrast. That's it. It does the whole thing. It is a positive feedback loop. It takes us out of the negative and into the positive, and it just keeps feeding itself from there. It's just about feeling. It is just about the willingness to feel and feel deeply and continuously surrender to it, continuously find new ways, new depths of surrender. Why is this Ace of Swords here? Tell me about the Ace of Swords. This is the key. This is the key. Okay, the cards just exploded. So that's it. And I dropped one. And I have to sneeze. It's at the bottom. 3 of Cups. Excuse me. Excuse me. Who's saying about me? 3 of Cups. Everything I just said. It's just about feeling. It's just about being open to the feeling. That's how the healing happens. That's how we set ourselves up to receive from the universe. That's how we ask in the way that we intend with our emotions, by being open to the feeling. That's how we do this. What's the card that fell out? 7 of Cups. It is options. It is options. There's a little bit of that overwhelming energy, but it's a release of it because of our leaning into it. Because of our willingness to feel, everything becomes clear. It stops being so overwhelming. It stops being so confusing because we realize we don't have to figure it out. All we have to do is feel it. That's it. The brain, we don't need it. It doesn't need to be a part of this process at all, except for in deliberately choosing not to participate, essentially, from the mental level, and to participate entirely from the emotional level. To just let it happen, and then it's all revealed. Why? Why is the 7 of Cups here? Queen of Swords. Yeah. What's under that 3 of Cups? The Fool. Jesus. Letting it go. Again, she's right on the edge of the cliff. This is what I am drawn to. She's right on the edge of a cliff here. If she just leans back, if she leans into it, she leaps. She reaches this new place. If she just lets it flow, if she turns off the questioning, the need to know, to understand, to justify, to explain, if she just lets it happen, lets it flow straight through, then everything is taken care of. Everything is taken care, everything is brought to balance. The universe fills in for us, works with us to bring the dream into fruition. Clarity. There's something about discernment here. But really just this decision, the decision to allow the emotion. That is how we support the soul. That is how we surrender the mind. Because there's thought too. But trying to control it, trying to control the thought is again just more repression. And a lot of times we try to control the thought because of the emotion that the thought evokes. And it's a painful emotion. If we just let the emotion happen and whatever thought it is evoking it, we surrender to it, that's how it all unlocks. That is how the healing happens. Let the truth of the experience be acknowledged by you, the truth of the moment, embracing it as it is. Not rejecting the thought, not rejecting the feeling, not rejecting any part of the experience, not identifying with it either. Understanding it is in you, but it is not you. You are the observer of it. Then you are returned to that place of witness where you are feeling But you are not the feeling. You are the feeler of it. And in your surrender to it, you discover this new dimension of peace. Final 3 cards. I hope that I have done this justice. There's a lot. There's a lot here. But it is the repeating message of just feel. Just feel. I just saw the sun trying to flip out. Okay, and that's it. Page of Swords at the bottom. What's underneath that? The World. Just look at it. Just look at it. What's on top? Ace of Wands. Let it happen. What's right with the Page of Swords? 2 of Swords. Let it happen. The path is revealed. The beginnings that there are new beginnings that have been trying to take place, that have been unable to because of our unwillingness to feel, to actually go all the way in to the emotion. It is in going all the way in that we allow it to shift, to release, to be set free. In the setting free of it, we create that space, which we are now holding open with surrender, with love, allowance energy, unconditionality. That is inviting in this new beginning, lots of new beginnings, this higher path, one of truth, one of alignment, that we've only been keeping out because of our unwillingness to face the contrast, our unwillingness to feel the pain and let it be pain. That is all it takes. What's right with the Ace of Wands? That is the secret. That is how it works. That is how we manifest. We have all the tools, all of the keys and all of the doors lie within us. It's really just one key and one door. The doors to the heart, the key is emotion, is in the free flowing of emotion. That unlocks all of it. That is how we are intended to manifest. That is how transmutation takes place. It all just happens naturally when we let contrast be contrast and acknowledge it and witness it and feel it within ourselves. When we allow, when we deliberately allow painful emotion, it naturally transmutes itself. Not only does it do that, it naturally turns us in the direction of what it is that is desired emotionally. In that same instant, we put that emotional energy out to the universe. We imagine, we dream, and we call in the dream, and we experience the instant manifestation, the emotional manifestation of the desired. Again, all by our willingness to feel the contrast. And then we call it in. We call it in. We surrender. We open up to receive in the way that we intended. This is a big deal. And I hope that I expressed this. I have done my best to express this openly and clearly and just hammer it home. It is just about feeling. Just feel. Just feel. That's it. Keep surrendering to the feeling. Keep surrendering to the moment. That's it. There's no other secret. There's no other trick to it. We're here to feel, and to feel more than we ever knew we were capable of. It's all happening. It's all happening for a reason. That reason is because we asked for it, and because it is by design and desire. It is for our highest good. It is as we requested, and we are accomplishing clearings and new understandings, evolution of our own consciousness in this lifetime, in this incarnation. Clearing that has been waiting for generations. This is the one. This is the lifetime. This is the time. I ascend. We ascend. Earth ascends. We are evolving. We are awakening. It is so. Not just so shall it be. So it is. Because ask and it is given. It's time to know that. It is time to feel that, to experience that directly. This is the message. It resonates with me in a big way. I do intend that it resonates with you, and I am pushing this out with my soul, with my passion, my heart, to all of collective, for this to be received in the way that is most appropriate for all and most beneficial for all. But I do intend that it resonates for you. I would love to know. If so, how? Leave me a comment. Like, subscribe if you feel so inclined. But what really matters is that you just let yourself feel. Feel the fullness of the moment, the isness of it. Allow it. Be open to it. And it opens to you. That is the message. I hope you have a beautiful, fantastic afternoon or day or night, whatever time it is in your space. And always, as always and in always, in every vector of this time and space, I absolutely adore you.